Third time's a charm. We'll see if this works. Okay, a continuation from what I said just a few minutes ago. Redoing my look. So I put on my makeup this morning at about 9 o'clock, and okay, that's not true because I pretty much got up at 9 o'clock. So it was, and I don't think this is gonna work already. It's telling me my connection is weak. This really stinks. Hi Maggie, sweet Maggie. How are you feeling? I hope that you are feeling strong and awesome like I felt when I was pregnant with Kaiten. Georgia, not so much. All right, well, I'm still live. It hasn't cut me off yet, so I'm just gonna jump right into this. I'm gonna go kind of back over everything I did. So I've been wearing this for about 11 hours, and it's held up pretty well. I mean, I did not use the primer spray or the setting spray. These are the things that I tell people to get if they get their makeup, they're wearing it daily, and they don't feel like they're getting the wearability that they want. Some people's faces just sort of eat makeup, and some people just work a little bit harder and sweat a little bit harder during the day at their given jobs or tasks. And so adding these takes your makeup from 8 hours to 16 hours of durability. So I did not use these today because I was not planning to work very hard, and I did not. So I'm going to use my foundation brush, which is part of our brush collection of 15 brushes. I use every single one of them and love them all. This one I don't use to apply foundation because our foundation doesn't really need something like this. This is more of kind of a spackle sort of thing, and I prefer to use this for foundation or this. So my foundation brush though is still very useful for removing things. So you go toward the nose to remove little things that you don't want. Hi BFF of my wife. I got that. I'm so hip. I understand texty lingo. I speak texties. All right, so that'll kind of clean up any discoloration under there, and then I can go back and add a little bit of concealer. You could also use your foundation. Hi Gina, hi Vanessa, hi Lisa. So this is great if you did your makeup, you know, in the morning you went to work, and then you've got an event in the evening where you're going to bartend, and you just need a little touch up. You don't have to redo everything. You can just kind of go back over what you have. So that concealer that I just brightened up underneath my eyes with, I'm not going to layer it on 3 layers like I usually do, just brightening up a little bit because it's really already there, but I do have to set that with some setting powder, and that setting powder is going to further brighten up under the eyes. When this area right here is nice and bright, it makes you look awake, and it does more for your eyes than mascara will ever do, or eyeliner for that matter. So focusing your attention on your skin right here is much more important than you know, throwing a couple coats of mascara on a blotchy red tired face. So spend your time here if you only have a tiny bit of time to spend. Okay, and then our bronzer, our perfect bronzer, we only have one, is really gonna bring back any color that I lost in my foundation. Sides of the nose, you see how I do that? All the way down this way. Don't follow the shape of your nose, change the shape of your nose by shading out everything except for a little strip of white right here, including the bulb. So sometimes you have to manipulate the brush a little bit to get it to cover the bulb of your nose if you have a bulb. Some of you have tiny little elf noses. Okay. Hi Trinka. Hi Erin. I talked to Kate. Good things are happening. It's exciting. Okay, so now a little bit of blush. Same brush. And that's really gonna bring my face back to life. My brows are pretty solid still. Didn't really lose much in the way of color. If I'm gonna touch them up at all, it would just be just a little depth of color right over what I have, but I definitely don't need to reshape them or anything like that. Okay, and tonight I'm going to be using the Lottie Dream On palette. It is a special edition that we have out right now, and I just noticed the other day that if you buy this, you get a free one of our eyeliner pins. That's incredible, if for nothing else than drawing tattoos on your kids, because they think that's really cool. These colors might not look like your typical naked 1, 2, 3, or 8 palette, but there are some seriously beneficial colors. This one in particular, we don't sell on its own, but it is very similar to Stila's Kitten. I like this one right in the corner of the eye. Do you see that little shimmer of light right there? That just opens up all of this real estate in here and tells other people's brains that that's part of your eye. So you get more eye. Right there, that's where the brush goes. See, it's more on my nose than on my eye. And bam, that's maybe almost even too much. I mean, just tiny, tiny little amount. Okay, we can just kind of, well, hey, let's just go with it. Dang, it looks good. Okay, so this color does not, let me repeat this, does not go here, okay? Unless you're working at the airport bringing in planes. It will provide such a ridiculous spotlight that no one will ever see the rest of your face because they will be blinded by the point of light coming off your brow bone, okay? No shimmer shimmer here. That said, this palette does not necessarily have a great color for up here, so you can either leave it plain or use my all-time favorite number 41, which is just a matte flesh shell color that just cleans up the brow and makes your brow eyebrow look a little bit more sharp. Okay, so I'm going to use our smudge brush. This is my favorite brush. And I have been telling you guys that we use this for packing, to pack on color in a large area, but I used it today for the first time after watching another makeup artist underneath my eyes, and it gave me, usually I use a really sharp eyeliner brush, but it gave me that smudgy, smoky look on the bottom, and it really did not get in my eye like I thought it would. So I'm going to do that tonight and kind of show y'all how literally it was really, really simple. Normally with this brush, I would have to do it in layers. I would have to set and set and set and set and set color on the waterline, and then I'd have to go back in and smudge it down. But this brush kind of does all of that for me. So again, I'm telling you, your brushes are going to change your life. They're going to make your makeup game. Like, how can I compare this? Does anybody have a good comparison? It's like, you know, men getting power tools and no longer having to hammer things by hand, but like have a power gun. Like, that's how awesome they are. That's how much work they're gonna do for you. Okay, brown. I'm sure it has a name. I can't even remember the name of my kids, much less the name of all these colors, so I'm gonna pack it on. That's where we just kind of press and pull away. Press and pull away. Thank you for the hearts. You guys are learning. And I'm going to go a little bit past my crease, making kind of an almond shape, and I'm stopping right here. I'm not bringing it out any. Laura Johnson, if you're watching, you just bought this, and so these are the colors. I was inspired to use these colors because of you. Amy Hill, these would be awesome on you also. And I wanted to show you what I did that night of that party, that when I did your makeup, and you said don't do it fancy. What the hell does that mean? Can you believe she told me don't do it fancy? Can't help it. Fancy comes out of me. Okay. Here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down. Okay, packing. You can see the intensity of the color that I lost throughout the day because I didn't use my primer spray and my setting spray. But also because it's not a tattoo, it's makeup. I know there are some of you makeup artists out there that are like, use a bigger brush, it'll happen faster. But I call this my precision brush because it is just that. It is very precise on where it goes. And I'm a control freak and I want to have total control over where the product goes exactly. This is not a blending brush. Got a little too much there, so now I'm going to use my Dome blender and just work that back down. There we go. And I think we're fairly even, but it doesn't really matter because we're gonna go over that with this really pretty copper color. I'm gonna use my angled brush and I'm gonna use this reddish copper color. It has a little bit of sheen to it, not near as much as these two, or this one, but just enough to make it really wearable. It's not the rust color that you think it is. Just order this palette set. Yeah, Charlotte, you're gonna love it. I'm loving it more and more. It's taken me a little bit of getting used to because I'm typically a cool colored kind of girl, but fall brings out all kinds of wild changes in me. All right, so now we've got this color on there and it's intense and I want to be careful that I don't put it too close to my eyebrow. So I'm going to go half on the color and half off, and I'm going to start in the middle and I'm just going to sweep back and forth. And this is a transition color. So I'm transitioning and you'll see that pretty little bit of shimmer there. I'm transitioning from the brown to the brow. One letter missing there. Oh, look how pretty that is. All right. Hi, Brett. Again, hope this is Brett's wife, whose name I don't know, sadly. Please tell me your name. Brandy is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and we loved torturing Brett when we were in high school. He was a pretty good little brother, though. There wasn't really much to torture him with. But I saw that huge buck he got. That's really awesome. Okay. So I think that looks fairly even. And now I could stop right here. Amazing. I mean, that's really some awesome fall coverage. But I like it even more with a little bit of this gold to transition it even further. So I'm going to start on the inside because that's where I want most of the gold because it's pretty shiny. And I'm just going to go halfway, the brush halfway onto the copper and halfway onto the part of my brow that doesn't really have much going on up here. And it's very subtle. I'll get a little closer so you can see. And I'm not putting a lot of it on, but you can kind of see when I move that little bit of gold that transitions to the copper. So a really great metal look. Get a little bit more. There we go. And so I'm focusing that gold on the inner corner, on the inner third of my eye. If you divided it into thirds, it's on that inside third. Okay, so now I'm gonna try something a little bit different. I used this new color, well, it's not new, I've had it for a while, but it's just not a color that I have used a lot. It's this kind of, Erin, can you tell me what color this is? It's that banana one that's not shimmery. This is the yellow that's kind of shimmery, and this is that flat one. Is it Pineapple of My Eye? And I don't know what number it is either. I'd have to pop it out of here to see, but I used this on Ridgely the other day, and her skin tone is a little bit darker than mine. On her brow bone, and I loved it. So I've never used anything other than my precious pink shell color on my brow bones. I've used it on other people, but so I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. Ooh, yes. You know, I was afraid it would just be yellow. But it's not yellow at all. It's just really pretty. It's just not the same color that I usually use, so it's a little bit scary, but I'm trying to talk you guys into, it really helps with your different outfits because I can remember feather shirt and earrings for this one. This is the church lady. That's what we're calling this. All right. I prefer doing these in my robe, in my pajamas, so I can just wash my face and go straight to bed after this because it is late and I have to go to boot camp tomorrow. Because I'm an athlete now. I'm not an athlete, but I am working on agility so that I won't fall down. All right. Yeah, I'm loving Pineapple of My Eye. I may feel differently when I go in the bathroom and look at it, but that is not the light I should judge myself in. So, okay, now got a little bit of, ow, a little bit of fallout down here. Brush that off, and now I'm going to go back to my Lottie palette. Lottie, Lottie, Lottie. And I'm going to use this color, which is, by the way, perfect for redheads for your eyebrows. It's got a little too much yellowy orange base color in it for me because my hair is so practically platinum. But I've used this on redheads and it's amazing. So what you're getting out of this palette, and it is pricey, so you want to make sure that you're getting, you know, that none of these colors are throwaways for you. This works as a brow color and a crease color. This works as a highlight. This works every single day. You can wear this even if you don't wear any other eye makeup. You can just put this right on your inside corner. This is an awesome liner. And then these two you'll just use when you use them. But I wanted to show you how to use them. I'll use this one on another one soon. Love it on the darker skin, also on girls with purple veiny eyelids, cancels the purple. Okay, so Pineapple of My Eye with the yellow colors. I'm not a big believer in the canceling of colors thing, but I'm learning that other makeup artists have seen things and been successful with things that I've never done before. So Erin says that it cancels purple. Sounds suspicious, but I'm gonna take her word for it because she's kicking my butt right now. Okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Boop, boop. And now, what? Done. Look at the difference. And look how easy that was. And I didn't even poke myself in the eye with a sharp object. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so what I love is that it does the inside and below all at the same time. I'm telling you, I'm learning new things every day. This brush is amazing. You need this in your life. Well, you need the whole set. Christmas, Christmas gifts. It looks so good. I should just stop here. Okay, just kidding. Mascara. My mascara looks just as good as it did this morning. So putting on, but I would love to show y'all that you can actually double up this mascara. I once tried to do 3 layers and I do not recommend that. But 2 solid layers of this works great. And I did do a little bit on the button. No, I'm not gonna do that. Here's how you do it on the bottom, ladies. You get yourself a little brush like this. You pull some off right here. And you barely, Christy Lester, hope you're watching this. This is how you do it. Christy Stitch, this is how you do it. With a little brush. Your bottom lashes do not need to be thick and long. Otherwise, they're pulling attention away from your pupil. Because remember, the reason that mascara is black and the reason we want a dark lash line is because it helps other people's eyes to find your pupil. But if you have too much of it, and especially if it's coming away from the eye, then you're distracting other people's eyes away from your eyeball and onto your eyelashes. Which, lovely as they are, is not the goal of makeup. The goal of makeup is to get people to rest on your eyeballs and to stay there so that you can be heard and you can be known, and that's the goal. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Debbie. Debbie is Aaron's mom. That's sweet. My mom was supposed to be on here. Thanks, Debbie. I'm glad you're here. My mom couldn't be here. I told my mom, you should watch my video tonight. She goes, why? So I can look just like you? No. Y'all know my mother has not bought 1 item from me. To her credit, I have not asked her to. I'm saving my mom card for when I really need it. She's like the ace up the sleeve. Like when I'm, you know, like this far away from a goal, I'll be like, all right, now's the time, Mom. Carolyn, tell me what you bought. You just placed a big order. Tell me what you bought. And I am going to use our Not Telling lipstick. I really love this lipstick because my friend Christy wore it to a wedding recently and it looked even better on her than I thought it was going to, but I really haven't been wearing it much. They've taken it. I do this every time I can't find something. I blame my kids and then I realize that I've put it somewhere really stupid. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is, hiding in the blush and the brush thing. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it on out of the tube because it's my very own and I can do that. Carol, come on, I know, right? This stuff is so dreamy. All right. And this is why I called this the church lady, because this morning I'm putting on, like, I feel like this is fairly dark makeup, like for just, you know, morning church time. But when I got to the lips at the very end, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I wanted to wear L, which is my favorite Lottie one, and it's super dark brown. This is Sugar Plum, not L. And I thought to myself, sometimes too much is just too much. So I busted out Not Telling. And then I got out my Faith Gloss, which has this kind of, I call this brown. I don't know what y'all call it, but I call it brown. Carolyn bought the full brush set, yes, and Sixwell eyeshadow palette in the colors you suggested months ago. Yay! Oh girl, I'm so happy. You're gonna love, love, love your brush set. Okay, you have to wipe this off. never ever just take this out and look at that. I mean, that would all end up seriously somewhere on your face that's not your lips. So, little gloss. Usually I use a lip brush, but I'm breaking all the rules. And why should you use a lip brush? Anybody know? I've told y'all this before. Because it's gonna fill in with all of its tiny, lovely little bristles. Here's your lip brush that you get with your full brush set. It's gonna even that out so it doesn't have all of those little lines. A little powder there. And if you put your lip gloss on with your lip brush and you only put it on the edge, it'll stay on longer and it'll make your lips look a lot bigger. You have to be careful not to go too far, but that's pretty cool. Hey Rachel, I hope things went well with Tara. What are we doing? We're going to Paris apparently because you made director last night. So excited for you. And y'all, did y'all know that if Aaron and I make director before the end of the year, we will be going to Paris, and I will send all of you a postcard thanking you for getting me there. Okay, so, and look more natural and smooth. Yes, you're with the lip brush. Yeah, it really does make a big difference. And it's kind of like nail polish. If you put it on in a nice thin layer, it's gonna sorry about that. Technical issues. Few things that I'm just gonna go back and touch up. I want a little bit more color here. And I'm gonna put some of the bronzer where my blush goes, just to deepen that a little bit, but without adding any more pink. Okay, and then one last little hit of shimmer in the corner. That's little crystal color. And then you can take it right down the center of your nose. Whatever's left over. Okay, so that's the makeup tutorial for tonight. I do want to thank all of you for your support for the diet that I started. And I wanted to just also take a few seconds to explain why, yeah, not Paris, Texas, Paris, France. Why I was recently motivated. So it's been like 6 years that I've been sort of packing on the weight, and I've tried, Erin has been so awesome. We've tried to have competitions to lose weight. We've tried to, thank you, Tara. We've tried to do Weight Watchers. I mean, I've tried everything, and then there have been seasons where I've just been like, you know what, I'm just gonna enjoy eating, because what's not to enjoy, right? And I'm a really good cook, and so I just decided to hell with it. But after starting this journey with LimeLight, something changed, and mostly it was leadership, strangely enough. That is really what motivated me to get off my butt and make a decision to be more energetic. If I don't lose any, you know, inches or pounds, which I know that I will, I already have, that would be fine. But what I really can't do is maintain a full day of activity in the condition that I was in just a week ago. And so I'm hearing all of these leaders above me say things like, you know, you've got to put in a year's worth of hard work if you want to retire your husband and you want to be a pig farmer. They're not saying that, but y'all know that's really what the goal is. So the life of a pig farmer is not cheap. I mean, you know, there's pigs to buy and feed. I don't really know, but mostly it's just my husband not being a lawyer anymore that would require pig farming to suddenly become very expensive. So anyway, if I want all of those things, I'm hearing people tell me that I need to be working really long hours and really hard days. And that doesn't mean working like at a makeup sales booth pushing product all day long. It does mean being really sharp-minded all day and thinking and being active and being communicative with all of the different people that are now on my team. So there's a lot to do mentally in a day, and I was feeling like I was not keeping up with that. So mentally I was feeling extremely fatigued and burned out and extremely scatterbrained, y'all. I blamed it, you know, when I was pregnant it was baby brain, when I had toddlers it was because we had too many kids, but I don't really have an excuse anymore. Even when my kids are in school, I walk into a room and I cannot remember what I came in here for. So y'all know that, you see it on this video all the time, like get back to the, you know, what you were talking about. So anyway, those were some things I was like, okay, that has to change. I've got to be able to focus and really put in a hard day's work mentally, not just physically. So that's what motivated me. I mean, and that's really incredible, where my kids, you know, being active with my kids really didn't motivate me. Even my horse doing this every time I get on him, that didn't motivate me. My husband loves me no matter what. I'm sure he would love it if I was skinnier, but you know, he has not been a primary reason for me to lose weight. So anyway, I did it for leadership because I don't feel like I can be a good leader in this company without being kind of a badass. So that's my goal. Anyway, sorry, that was probably just a totally long rant about something that I could have summed up in one sentence, but I've been really thinking about it a lot lately, like what is it that changed? Anyway, thanks for listening. I appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love. Please send me constant reminders anytime it crosses your mind to drink water. That's been the hardest thing for me to, the hardest habit to get over is not drinking water. Beer is usually what I drink. So water's different and yummy, especially that LaCroix stuff. Anyway, I love you guys. I will be back at you tomorrow. So mwah mwah, and go build up somebody else and glorify God and be your best self. Ciao.